You're such an asshole.
Business for all the Carlson School of Management majors. Hey, don't I look dope, y'all? Wait, these glasses are actually old school Vietnam Navigator glasses. That's too cool for the finance bros. And I guess the finance bros have changed their costume. I guess they wear a Patagonia vest because I looked up finance bro. This just happened last week. Apparently, they're all wearing Patagonia vests, and they got their coffee and they got their tag. I middle school never ends, man. Never ends. All right. We have a request. If you have a request, you go to ASO Consulting, where America's older brother, I could prevent these things. Here's the problem. Okay, I got to anonymize it. He's a mid-20-something guy. Bro, if you just talk to me, you all need to talk to me after you talk to your high school, college advisor, because they obviously keep giving you the wrong information. I am a mid-20-something old male working in finance at a large financial service company in a place. My main job responsibility is underwriting like a young Cappy. P&L analysis, budgeting, payout analysis, ad hoc data. Okay, yeah, standard underwrite, which is one of the fair and real jobs out there in the finance industry. I'm physically fit and seem to find most enjoyment when I'm outside moving my body. No credit card debt, no student loans, and a father who was there when he wasn't working. I drive an old car with 100,000 miles on it. I plan to drive it into the ground. I am at least you took your degree to heart. At least you're practicing it. I'm in the beginning steps of my career and am already disillusioned with corporate America BS. My first role in finance was with a contractor. I'm trying to anonymize it. I accelerated quickly due to my work ethic and personality, was accepted into a finance leadership program where I would rotate different roles to better understand the business. This all came to an end when I refused the vaccine and was vocal on the absurdity of the situation. Well, you don't have to be vocal. You just have to say, no, I'm not doing that. They threatened to fire me for noncompliance. At this point, I figured my corporate career was ending and had eyes on becoming an electrician apprentice. My father convinced me otherwise. The mandate was then removed, so I stayed on the corporate route until I found and accepted my current role. My current role at said company was off to the races when I first started. I was placed on a finance team at a prestigious office. I had a glimpse of the future I could build for myself. I volunteered for all projects, got to work early, left late, took on a lot of responsibility and extracurriculars. I was soon the rising star, fueled by my hunger for money and status. Oh, see, that's okay to chase money because that is freedom. Status? No, what do you do with status, bro? And still had the party bug, love to chase tail. Well, yeah, you're not even 30 yet. You're still in your 20s, man. That's normal. After a year in my current role, the honeymoon phase is over. I'm starting to take a more critical look at my situation. My rent for a shitty, crappy 1-bedroom, 1-bath downtown was 45% of my income. Yeah, the finance majors don't make that much money. They pay you in status, they pay you in the lifestyle. Now, back in the day, Wall Street, those firms like, oh, you want to work here? You want to work here? You work here, bro? Oh, well, we can't really pay you that much. And you're going for the status. But now, especially now where all these companies are looking like they're just becoming leftist Marxist, diversity and inclusion crap, that sheen is gone. No one is going to get their CFA. No one's going to get their MBA in finance, bro. And no one's going to go to Wall Street or downtown San Francisco unless you pay gobs of money. They can't find the people. But in finance, yeah, it was very common. Like, oh, hey, yeah, you want to work? Oh, you could work on the top floor. Ooh, we'll make you a vice president. Handing out titles. That's another common thing they'll do. They hand out title. Ooh, you're a senior analyst. Still doing the same crap. I'm done wasting my time and money just to slave away every day, paycheck to paycheck, at the whim of my employer. I don't want to turn into my father. Due to being on this prestigious office, I feel like I'm walking on eggshells. I've gotten comments on the quality of my clothes and shoes. Yep, here you go. Here you go. There is a flood of finance majors, and there's not enough demand. There just isn't a demand for finance majors. There's demand for accountants. There's not demand for finance majors, because what do, bro? Now, you got like literally one of the few legit jobs, which was underwriting. I don't even know if you're doing that anymore, but finance leadership, they could replace you with their uncle or their cousin in half a second. And because there's so many finance majors and there's not really a call for it, now you get to play, you get to play politics on this petty thing. Maybe you remember this, maybe you not heard of it. I'm not kidding. One of my bosses was complaining about the shade of gray on my charts. Hey, get the F out of here. No. I remember one guy said, "Oh, you kind of need a haircut." No, I didn't. Just the petty middle school girl BS that comes from old white dudes who are your boss. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I've gotten comments on the quality of my clothes and shoes, typing too fast and loud during meetings. No, typing too fast and being too loud during meetings, getting too comfortable at work. The blue-haired gay dude can wear his heels and dress at the cafe, but I can't wear a sports ball jersey on Young Professional Sports Ball Day. We were going to a basketball game after work culture. Very boomer mindset. I can't leave the office until the boss does, usually around 7 p.m. I'll stay late and come in 15 minutes late in the AM next day, and it's an issue. The work is exec level. The pay is average to below average. They're starting to push DEI BS here, and you see low producers and women jumping to SVP level based on the genitals and skin color. Yeah, leave. Leave. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. They're starting at all they do is sit in meetings and talk all day and give all the work to the hard workers like me. I'm in the office 5 days a week. I talk to coworkers in other departments who have totally different experience, hybrid, flexibility, relaxed working environment, higher pay, larger bonuses. Why should I bust my ass when everyone else isn't? I don't even like these people. They don't like me as a straight white male. Why am I helping them excel? I don't know. Why are you? Look, it was already a toxic environment working in the finance industry in general, banking, investment banking, whatever, hedge funds. Now they just got DEI and now identity politics on top of it. Absolutely not. And your boomer boss sounds outdated. How do I know you're worrying if I can't see you? You have to leave after I leave. No. And this is something that every young person, especially in finance, you're going to go through, where your boss is like doing this political minor. They can replace you, easily replace you. You just leave or tell them no early on. Like, I get to work remotely. This is where you got to do the negotiation up front. So take this as like a learning experience. But if you're going to go into finance, like, I get my work done and I go home. I don't care if it's at 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. If I get my work done, I go home. If you don't like that, that's too bad. Because in the end, they do need someone to do underwriting, financial. They do need someone to do the actual work. And even though there's plenty of people they could hire to do it, they do want someone who shows up on time and has to compensate for all the fake positions. So you might be, even though it's a flooded market and they could replace you, I don't know if they're going to get the same work ethic out of you, because most finance pros are, that's why they're finance majors. They're lazy. They don't want to actually do the hard work. They want to wheel and deal, bro. Feel like I have no skin in the game and don't care what happens to the company. No, why would you don't own the company? All I do is look at meaningless numbers on a screen. My mind is clouded with thoughts of me being in the wrong occupation, missing out on living. You're not missing out on living. You got to work. That's a given. You're not, look, give up on the Zoomer idea. Like, I just don't work and I play and I travel. No, you got to work at least 40 hours a week. And dreaded selling my soul to corporate America. My drop in productivity, change engineering has been noticed in the last month. A supervisor took me out to lunch to chat and remind me that I'm a high value target at the company and someone who they are grooming for management. In the meantime, recruiters from other firms have been reaching out to me recently. I've been entertaining their opportunities. You start looking for a new job when you get a job. Yes. Yeah. They're bringing in DEI. That is not a place you hang your hat. You just don't. because it is no longer under you or anyone else's control whether or not you get promoted. That's the whole point of having a career. I work hard, you compensate me more. It is now I work hard, you might compensate me more, but if Shaniqua comes in with black vagina and a liking for licking the labia, whatever it is, want to do the 3L alliteration there, she gets promoted over you. Okay? No. Absolutely not. And look, you say you're a straight white male. When do you straight white males man the F up? When do you this could now there was a generation before where this racism and sexism, diversity, that's what it is. DEI is racism and sexism against straights, whites, males, whatever. What would that straights be? That would be sexual discrimination, I guess. Sexual preference, whatever. It's discrimination. And there was a time where you would have had the morals and ethics and you say, no, I'm not doing that. It was always that how it is? No, I quit. Like I'm finding another job. But the previous generation of men before you, they had to go get their cars and their sports ball and they had to get their McMansion and some and they got married. You, sir, are part of a generation where you don't have a family you have to support. You do not have a wife. You do not have a mortgage. And if you guys are sick and tired, are you guys sick and tired of, oh, well, we got to promote vagina because vagina, are you sick of that sexist? Got to get my ists right. Are you sick of that? Leave. And let them know, like, well, why'd you're going to promote people based on the color of their skin or the plumbing down below, not their content of character. You're not meritocratic. You're a bigoted, discriminatory organization. I do not believe my hard work and effort will go rewarded here because of politics. So I'm going to go elsewhere. If they ask, they're probably not going to ask. They don't. We can't possibly be wrong. We're finance boomers. Grooming you for management, that sounds like a load of crock. I don't believe it. In the meantime, recruiters from other firms reaching out to me. My father is a first-generation immigrant, so I've always been taught frugality. When I stumbled upon your channel, minimalism seemed second nature, and I began to reanalyze my current situation. At the end of the month, I am moving into my buddy's place, dropping my living expenses by 60%. Outstanding. I won't be as private, close to downtown Fort Girlsa. That's all right. I know the area you're in. That entire area is fine. It's perfectly fine no matter where you live, except on the very south end. It's like a little bad area. But I have received more than enough poon in my life to satisfy. I'm currently rekindled with an ex-girl. My fault, we broke up, wanted to chase other girls at college, who is now maintenance and doesn't want kids. Oh, who's low maintenance. I like her. She satisfies my needs, not overly dramatic. Okay, problem question. Every day I sit and, dude, you got to get to the point, man. I know your teachers and your parents and media all told you, just tell us your, I don't care about your feeling. Get to the point. Every day I sit in traffic or at my desk. I wonder if I'm slowly wasting away. Shouldn't I enjoy the collapse? You're not wasting away. You have to work. All right. At least 40 hours a week. I think you're working too much and you're probably working at the wrong place. Go elsewhere. But it's just me. I mean, you live your life how you want. My goal would be to save up the FU money and retire as early as possible. And it looks like you're having fun anyway. You can't play all day. All right. So give it up with this zillennial idea like, oh, I feel like I'm wasting your life. You are supposed to waste at least a third of your life working, yes. But it's not wasting your life. You're building up the money to set yourself free down the road, which is why you don't piss it away on toys and boats and cars and McMansions, bro. And you're doing right. You're cutting your expenses so you don't have to have that much. You don't need that much money. I look at the older men at the office and see fat, unfit drones who buy to assuage their soul-sucking existence in corporate finance. Yep. I don't want to turn out like these people, not motivated by material. Right. And that's why these finance bros don't make money, why they're miserable, is because they might make money. By the way, unless you get into unless you're in the club, you ain't going to make the money. You're going to make pretty much average what you're making. I mean, you're being groomed for management and they're paying you that little. You're working 55 to 60 hours a week. You're making like $22, $23 an hour when you factor that in. So unless you get into the club, which is just more politics of the same, and probably worse, more modernly now that we got to throw, trans vagina in there because that's real important to underwriting. You could expect to make very moderate money working in finance, but then the finance bros, they're the type that got the ego of all the majors. The finance bros have the highest ego, and they cannot abide being normal. You sound like you're not materialist. You sound like you don't need the fancy car, and you don't. You got to use car. So you don't your personality does not fit into the finance bro. And if you're frugal, if you're a minimalist, then you should be completely like, who cares about the status? Who cares that you're at the prestigious office? F those people. Make your money and get the hell out. And so I would go anywhere that they're paying you the same or more money. They don't even bother with this place because 10 years from now, you're going to end up like those guys. You might have a little bit more money, but yeah, your personality, your life philosophy is not congruent with the finance bro. I have a goal. I have my goal set for an entire season in the Rocky Mountains as a ski bum. I have 3 years worth of 401k contributions, maxed out IRA for that. Okay, yeah, you are. Okay, at least you're putting into practice your finances. You got crypto, you got cash. You need a little more cash. You need 6 months living expenses. My 6-month plan is to minimalist to the max to save as much as possible. There you go. I could scrape together 10 to 15,000 cash plus liquidating 25,000 in crypto. Well, I'd hold on to your crypto. You do what you want. This enable you to live 5 months for skiing every day humanly possible. Should I jump ship and go experience life for a little, then return the workforce and grind out longer? Who is John Galt? All right. I would, since you're there, you're 20, you're in your mid-20s. You have not earned, in my opinion, the right to go ski bum for 6 months. You're almost there, but you need 6 months living expenses in cash. And you've been at this place long enough. It's perfectly fine to go and work for the competition. It's about time you leave and go to the competition anyway. So what I would first do before you pack up your stuff and go skiing in Colorado, I would go and talk to the recruiters. You got people calling you? See what they're going to offer. See what you can make, because you're in a very nice area of the country. A very nice area of the country. I would see if you could stick around there. But see if you can make more. See if you could find a job still with your fine. Oh, and that's why I asked. I said, what did you major in? Because he didn't tell me he majored in finance. I majored in finance with data analytics. Oh, bro. So there you are. But yeah, just for everyone else tuning in, don't major in finance. This is what you get to deal with. Politics. You should major in accounting, become a tax accountant, a bookkeeper, something else. You could still be an underwriter with an accounting degree, but you don't have to deal with this finance. You don't have to deal with middle school. You don't have to deal with finance bro culture. Which is now going to have on. It's like, all right, we already got a bacterial culture of crap, finance bro culture. Now you're going to have, I don't know, another bacterial culture or virus culture of herpes thrown on it in the form of diversity and inclusion. No. If you can get it. Now here's where I will give finance majors some credit. If you're capable of doing the math, you're smart enough to do something else. Actuarial science, CPA, engineering. Now, when I went to school, the finance majors always used the finance calculator because they couldn't do the math. They couldn't do calculus. So if you're those type of finance bros, yeah, you're not, I don't know, go be a salesman, go rob a bank like you normally do. Go embezzle some funds. But if you're like actually into finance like I was and you understood the math, you're interested in economics, go major in anything else that has a job at the end of it. Yeah, but for you right now, I would try one more time with your current resume, your current finance background, and your several years experience at this firm, see if you can find a company. Look, you don't want to go back to school. All right. You don't want to go back to school. So I would go work for another company, the best one, go out, figure out what's out there, get a pay raise, right? See if the next employer is going to be any different. I'm going to guess not, because that's the law of finance majors. You're just going to go from one douchey employer to another douchey employer. So don't have any high expectations. Go to that place, just bank all your money, save all your money. And after you put like a year, now, of course, it could be a toxic environment, it could be absolutely horrible, but you go put your time in there, make your money, save up your money. And maybe by next winter, you go skiing, or 2 winters from now. So that all depends on your, like, okay, I'll give you permission to do this. You don't control whether the employer is a douchebag. You can mitigate it a little bit by looking up Glassdoor reviews and Google stalking the hell out of your bosses, their names. But let's say you do find another place, you do go work there, and it's not tolerable. Like 6 months in, it's just, this is crazy. It's even worse than, you have my permission then, as long as you saved up the money, to like, nope, I'm done, and then go be a ski bum. But at that point, then I would say you need to start figuring out a plan B when you come back from being a ski bum, probably becoming an electrician. But don't do what I did, where you kept thinking there was something wrong with you, or I'm sorry, don't think it was you having bad luck, or there was something wrong with that individual employer, where, I just keep finding bad employers, that's finance, and that's the finance industry, bro. It's a bunch of douchebags who don't want to work for a living, and your bosses are psychopaths who climb their way to the top, and they expect you to work till 7, 8 p.m. and not leave, even though like you're young and you got the technological ability to do their job in 2 hours. It takes them 10. And so it's not going to be bad luck. That is the nature of all finance employers. That is the nature of the banking and finance and investing industries. So one more try, one more employer. And if it's, man, I don't know about the shoes you're wearing, it's okay, fine. I got to change my shoes. All right. Now I did that at my last employer. I followed everything to the letter. Still, well, I don't know about that. It's pretty harsh. It's like, oh my God, will you people all just F off and die? Some of them did, because they was old. But no, if you got to finance, look, if you're a finance major, give it one shot. Maybe you get into, some people have the mentality for it. Some people just, that's their place. But if you go in and they're just like, oh, we don't like the glasses you're wearing, go back for engineering, repurpose your degree for accounting. That's pretty easy for a finance major. Get your degree in accounting. That might even take 1.5 years, not that long. Do it online and just go become an accountant. But yeah, it's just bad all around. It's really sad. You put a lot of effort into the math that goes into a finance degree. And that same effort could have gotten an engineering degree, assuming you did the math and didn't use your finance calculator, bro. All right. Link below is a book called Worthless, The Young Person's Indispensable Guide to Choosing the Right Major. Go to the Super Chats. Dude, bro. Dude. Nonstop Dre, $2. What happened to your gold chain bra? Hashtag Big Four reject. I never saw no big chains when I was a finance major. I just saw a bunch of douchebags wearing fancy clothes. That's all. And they all had fancy cars and their parents paid their parking. That's what I do remember. Like, man, it's like when SUVs are first coming out. I'm like, how does like a 20-year-old get a brand new SUV and free parking? Oh, yeah. You're from Eden Prairie. I get it. Wholesome DJ Aftershock, $5. I know a finance bro who had to change course after undergrad, forced to get a master's in analytics, and is now a data analyst at a major tech consultant. Yeah, you're gonna data science is another good one that you could segue into. It's really sad. Finance is like a very good degree. Like the knowledge is good to have, and as the client put it into practice in his life, so he's in good financial shape. But usually your finance bros are egotistically driven and they just piss away all their money. It is not a shock that the banks need to be bailed out every 10 to 15 years now. Evan, 10 Canadian bucks. Why don't finance majors make money? Because they don't understand the law of supply and demand. If only there was a major where they teach that. Yeah, but even that major is worthless. Don't become an economics major. Don't become a finance major. You need to have a practical skill. It's called accounting. And a lot of finance has just been taken over by not even AI, just some simple mathematical formulas, law of 72, I believe it is, index investing. There's just no reason to go with it. What do you do? Underwriting, yeah, but the problem there is your bosses want to make loans or investments so that they can get their commission. So underwriting is usually thrown out the door. There's no reason. Go be a data analyst. More Dread, new guy, $8 Australian. Welcome to the show, More Dread. Cappy, you got to change the acronym from EDI to DIE. Yeah, I know. It's such a circus, and it's so blatantly wrong and unethical. Diversity and inclusion. It's so obvious that only guilty white people in Minnesota fall for that BS. And to me, it's just like, I know. Must suck to have debt. Must suck to be a bro over on in Waizaze and the Minnetonkas with your mortgage, and you stuck paying for your trophy wife and your McMansion and a suite of cars and boats, whatever. It must suck that you got to go and work for a firm that is literally going to discriminate against you and probably hates your guts. It sucks that you can't quit. But the next generation of men, boys coming up, they don't have wives or McMansions. There's going to be and I don't know what you're going to do without the people that actually work, who showed up there on merit. And I mean everyone. Here's the black guy who worked really hard at engineering. And he's like, I'm going to get on this diversity and inclusion train. And okay, maybe he gets hired, but he's actually a good engineer too. Oh, maybe I'll get senior engineer. Oh, well, look out. Here comes LaDasha. And she like licky the labia or the labia or whatever they call it. And she gets promoted. But wait, she has 3 years less experience than I do. And her GPA was half of what mine. Too bad, Sean. LaDasha got the black vajayjay. Shit. And she's now the vice president and your boss. And then if Sean didn't have debts and didn't have a car payment, what could Sean do? Sean could say, F that, I'm out. Then Sean goes up and up as his consultancy because the firm he used to work for doesn't have any real workers no more because they all left, said, F that, we're out. And then you get to pay those guys, the real engineers, $300 an hour. Meanwhile, the company, they all left because we're not doing this non-meritocratic DEI stuff. All they got is nothing but a circus of HR directors and diversity and inclusion hires that just like, oh my God, we're this color and we like that kind of genitalia. Wait, nothing's getting produced. Oh, we need the contractors. And then you guys say, oh, you need the engineering thing? Oh, you need the programming. You need the actual work done? Yeah, $350 an hour, $350, and not 3.50, $350. Loch Ness Monster. Author Drexler, 20 generous. Author is a good man, a great man, a wonderful man, and has nothing to do with the $20 he just gave me. He just happens to be just a really great guy. For $20, when you pilot a tidy ship, you will usually captain it alone. Yes, absolutely, 100% correct. I will never hire anyone. Never. I will contract people. I will never. If I'm going to hire someone, I'm going to like Japan. I'm going to Hong Kong. I'm going to not Thailand. Well, I would go to Thailand too. I cannot pronounce words today. Taiwan. Why am I thinking, is that wrong? Taiwan. Formosa. Remember, it's old name. Taiwan. Singapore. I will hire those people. Because I think they're not going to sit there and be like, you've oppressed me. Oh my God, I like licking this type of genitalia. Why don't you ever? I'm going to file a lawsuit. Nope. Hey, Zhang, how you doing? You got that code done? You did? Okay, cool. Here's your money. Thanks. All right. More on the way. See ya. Bye. We didn't have to have a struggle session with Zhang. He was just happy I paid him money. Frank, our hiking agent in the field, $5. Just saying good morning, Cappy. Speaking of plane, the mothership is loaded up and we're heading to Moab. Weather looks good. Does it? Has it finally broke? Dude, I wanted to go to Moab so much, but it looked like it just was cold in Utah this entire time. I got like a month and a half left. Maybe I will make it up to Utah. Steve Heights, $5. Do you think finance majors are worth more for something entrepreneurial as opposed to working for big firms? No, because you're either entrepreneurial or you're not. Now, will finance help you manage an entrepreneurial endeavor? Yes, because you understand loans versus equity. You have a basic skill level of accounting. You know how to read an income statement, a balance sheet. You might even know how to compile one. Like I said, the skills don't hurt you, but a perfect example would be what you really ought to do is you major in accounting, but then you minor in finance. Or you major in engineering and you minor in finance. Like finance would make a great minor because you're just a better financial mind and you can manage your money personally much more effectively. And then sure, if you were to go and do an entrepreneurial endeavor, you know how to read an income statement. You know the value of a cash flow statement. You can do projections and forecasts. You're a better financial mind. But when it comes to being employed, an Excel spreadsheet does budgeting. You got robo advisors that'll do asset allocation. The index investing, you don't need people to compile and actively manage a mutual fund because the finance bro, dude, we got like 40 years of data that shows people with their masters and doctorates, all these financial geniuses can't beat the index. It's not a real study. So it's all been replaced by very simple formulas, very simple. And when it comes to financing a company, it's like, hey, I need a loan. I need you to raise money. And then you go out to a finance firm like an investment bank, like, all right, I need you to do an equity issue. And I even think now it's like, and you're not doing any of this. Like, no, you don't get 7% of the money raised, Thaddeus. I even think nowadays with the internet, you could probably go online and there's like GoFundMe and all that smaller stuff. But I think the technology exists that you could just go and say, hey, IBM could go out to the internet, say, we need investors in these stocks. If you'd like to sign up here. Let us know how much you're interested in. Yeah, hedge funds. I'd like to see the performance of hedge funds. They don't do any better than mutual fund managers, I'd imagine. So it's not a degree you get a job with. And then the argument would even be, well, why would you pay for a minor in finance? We can learn this stuff for free online or pick up a book. Bachelor Pad Economics kind of goes through everything you really need to know for your personal financial management. Dave Ramsey's baby says that's more to get out of debt. But you don't need to pay it. And then you say, okay, well, maybe you should learn programming or something else. Or maybe just take some courses on something that's fun. Barbarian culture, 16th century, whatever, even though barbarians weren't around in the 16th century, but you get the idea. Nonstop Dre, $2, but Cappy, not everyone could go to Carlson like you. Yes, you actually can. I think you could. Abdiel Lawrence, €5. I'm a contractor in Germany, but thinking about moving to Japan next year. The best way to get the raise you want is to change employers. Yes. And that not only goes for the client, but everyone younger, Tony, and you don't get raises working at the same company. That's long gone. That wasn't even in my generation. That doesn't happen. You got to work for your competition. Wholesome DJ Aftershock, $2. Dude, bro, you're not cool without a sweater vest, bro. I know. I guess that's what they're wearing now, huh? I guess the little name tag. Oh, God. Why do you have a name? Oh, is that their badge to get into the security badge? It's been so long since I had to work at an office building. It's been so. You know what I'm going to do today, boys? You know what Cappy's going to do? Cappy's going to go to his favorite cafe where there's no carbs. And I'm going to get my mail. I might sit and go get a cigar at the cigar lounge. I got to get wheel bearings, new wheel bearings. I figure out which side of the car the wheel bearings are going out on. So I got to do some exits and entrances on the interstate. And then I think I'm going to play some Oculus Quest Golf. I might play the Wii, fire up the fireplace. And all of that, except for the gas used on the fireplace, is going to be paid for by my solar panels. And then when I get back to Vegas, I'm going to go enjoy the 80-degree weather that is forecasted. I might even make it to Moab if Moab is nice. I'm going to ride my motorcycle. I'm going to golf. I'm going to hang out with a buddy of mine coming up from Atlanta because I got out of finance, bro. But dude, bro, your car's like almost 20 years old. Yep. Yes, it is. Enjoy your $1,200 a month payment on your whatever, your Mercedes, bro. This kid's going to be going ski bumming. Shark Taws, $5. Hey, Cappy, just making sure you're holding up okay with the storm and stuff. Listen to Cappy, kids. He might know a thing or two. Yeah, it's late enough in the season that the sun is coming out and it's above melting temperature. And so I did have to dig 2 tire paths along my gravel driveway. Like 200 yards. I got my exercise yesterday. I'm not going to the gym today. I am not going to the gym. Everything's fine. I did grow up in Minnesota and Wisconsin. I can handle storms. It's all right. I know what I'm doing. That's it. All right. Link below. Worthless. The young person's indispensable guide to choosing the right major. Don't major in finance, bro. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.